Robert tiptoed around the landing, flicked on the light in a particularly dark corridor, and crept along the floorboards. He creaked open a bedroom door, and a shaft of light followed him in. He was totally oblivious to the child in the corner whose heart beat terrified in a little chest. It's a fact that when children are frightened, very young, they don't tend to tell their mummies and daddies. Not a whisper of the nighttime wanderer. Not a hint of the strange mission of this man in a trance, who didn't have an inkling someone was watching. This only child fell straight into the trap. Avoid at all costs being called a fool. 45 years on, and what happened that night lies buried. Robert, 9th Earl of Auchen, has passed away aged 77, leaving behind his wife and their twin sons, Fergus the heir and Ewan the younger. The house, Auchen Laggan Tosh, boasts the presence of a king. But behind the door the past lingers. Earls in succession have fought, lost and won. Lives have been taken early, and others have lived long. Women have been widowed, and children died. Money has been made and gambled. The life of a Auchen is a roller coaster. Good luck, I say, to the current Earl. Chapter 1. Over a humpback bridge I went. The river trickled below. I knew the name from the literature I'd been sent back in January, when the Earl and Countess of Auchen had first asked me to be resident tutor on their life drawing and landscape painting course. 5-day tutored life drawing and landscape painting course, Monday the 23rd to Friday the 27th of March, run in the wonderful setting of Auchen Laggan Tosh estate, home of Fergus, 10th Earl of Auchen, and his wife Zoe. Standing amidst 12,000 acres of Highland Scotland with an abundance of wildlife, Auchen Laggan Tosh is a Palladian mansion, designed by the architect Robert Adam in 1761. It overlooks the River Trickle and is secluded but not remote, the town of Auchen merely 4 miles away. Woohoo! This invitation could not have come at a better time. I'd been back at home in Sussex after yet another singleton London Christmas with my dear parents, Joseph and Marion, and I'd needed something, anything, to put in my diary to perk up the dismal, short, wintry days. You've been recommended by our great friend Susanna Highbridge. You drew her Labrador last summer, is how it all began. I visited your website, and your talent as a draftsman and painter would, we feel, fit the concept of the course perfectly. The Countess of Auchen wanted me. A spot of Googling, and I'd found a picture of the hosts, gleaned from last August's Auchen Village Monthly. The Earl and Countess were nice-looking, so the camera reports in the scene of them cuddled up on the stone steps of their pile, liver cocker spaniel sitting at their feet. Fergus's full head of salt and pepper hair, and the look of self-assurance on Zoe's face, suggested to me this pair had left their 20s well behind, might even be fast approaching their 40s. Now, 7 months on, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a baby brewing. Almost inevitable that the later a couple commit, the quicker a little squealer pops out. Not to mention the enormous house in the background, crying out for an heir. Someone to continue the custodial chain and keep all those treasures within the family. I'm an oil painter and pet portraitist by profession, and although I've never tutored before, I've been to enough classes to know how it's done. So, almost from the moment the Auchen's email pinged into my inbox, we have a small class of 8 signed up, and we'd be delighted if you fancied making the trip north for the first of what we hope to be repeated courses. I was eager to accept. This residency would shake up my routine, introduce me to a new crowd, and earn me some much-needed pennies. And here's hoping, if I make a success of it, there may be further tutoring opportunities to come. Home, in Sussex, is a heck of a long way from the north of Scotland, and I let out a squeal of relief that I'd reached the Auchen's drive at last. Bump, bump, bump my car went as I gripped the steering wheel and tried my best to negotiate the divots. It was so dark outside there was no way of seeing the Highland landscape, and I could only imagine infinite moorland with a fresh dusting of snow, the flakes delicate and beautiful in the car headlights.